Alongside Daryl Reed, I'm Michael Artsis, and this gentleman here is David
McCloskey.
David McCloskey. I was going to stop with David. We go
That's
first
good.
names.
That's all right.
Here. It makes you more friendly to the audience, but David McCloskey. And you're from Relevant Play. Now, Relevant Play has been with Toy Fair for 14 years.
Correct. We just underwent a brand rebranding for our company because of the direction of our playthings.
So how did the company start, and what was the, and what were you guys doing when you started coming to Toy Fair?
I'm so happy you have me here, but also to ask that question. So I used to make computer games before designing toys, and I built product for Microsoft and AOL and Sony, and I really got, my wife and I had our first child, and I was tired of building things about harming other people. And so I wanted to do something that was creative.
So what kind of games were we talking about? You say harming other people, and you say Microsoft. I think Halo.
It was the idea of it. We built some first-person shooters, but we also did, and this you might tell by the gray hair that I have left, that I was back in the day. We built some pay-to-play content for Microsoft that was allowed 200 people to fly World War II aircraft over dial-up.
Wow,
So
that's very
dial-up,
cool.
if you think about that, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. All right, so you guys are the guys who, so then you have a transition, you have your first kid, you say, let's do something different, and you guys come out with kinetic sand.
Well, actually,
that's one of the things.
Prior to that, I started making building toys. So my oldest at that time was playing with a set of Tinker toys, and we did some new things. And I had built content for Hasbro before, and they owned the Tinker toy license. And so I went to present it to them, but they didn't want to see it because they were doing another toy at the time that was in conflict. So I came to Toy Fair 14 years ago and presented it to the market because I saw opportunity in specialty and especially education for those toys. So we have a patent on the 100-year-old building system that we've been using and selling those building toys in addition. And then I joined with another group that had the rights to, and he had started, his name's Jeff Barnett, my partner. We joined forces, took us a little while to figure out how that would work. But when we came together, he was selling educational toys for a company called Lakeshore. Lakeshore Learning Materials, and he was familiar with early compounds from a supplier over in Europe, in Sweden specifically, and that was the precursor to kinetic sand, and it was later known as moon sand. And then we introduced kinetic sand after moon sand, which has a fantastic play pattern to it.
Now, kinetic sand was a lot of fun. I think parents liked it a lot. It's not really messy. It's sand without having the sand all over the place, in your feet, in the car mat, in the house. It was hugely popular, also knocked off a lot.
Oh, yes.
Did that frustrate you?
Totally. And, I've actually developed some technologies around that. You're going to get me off on a tangent, so I'm not going to go there. But
I'm okay with that.
Okay. But yes, it's really frustrating, of course, when competitors come in and they pattern you. But I applaud their ingenuity, and we learned a lot from that process and how we can leverage our own creativity and capture some intellectual property in a new area and really own the space. And that's what we set out to do with this new compound.
We're going to get to that in a second. Don't worry. We're not going. I'm not going to say sorry, no time for that. We have to go. But I wanted to know what made kinetic sand so important to the children and to the parents, and so great on the market, because nobody had ever seen anything like this before. And I think the parents liked it because it was clean. And the kids liked it because it was sand. But on the other hand, it had some really good play and learning properties.
It does. When it's compressed, the binder, the molecules, there's more threads, there's more connections when it's compressed together. And so we created extruders and tools to allow you to do that and extrude things out so you could make castles and other structures with it. But then kinetic sand has this movement to it. It flows. And really it's a force of entropy that's accelerated. Everything's decaying, but this just happens really quickly. And so that was mesmerizing. And also the touch of it, it feels so good. It feels like wet beach sand, but there's no mess.
And it's not wet. And so I think with kids, it was great because it gave them this hands-on, tactile feel, much like building a sandcastle at the beach, but they didn't have to go all the way to the beach to do it. And I think it's good. You know, we're starting to get into more play again, where kids are coming away from the video games and interacting with each other, but also having a tactile feel and approach. And that's something that building blocks and Tinker Toys do for kids. And this was a new way to do that. And now you've got this new product that is pretty cool, because I'll tell you what, there are a lot of clays and doughs, without knocking certain brands, that my son likes, that kids love, that I hate, because they get all over my hands and they're messy, and you know, they have a smell to them that I don't like either. So you've developed something that has similar properties to kinetic sand, but yet similar properties to putties,
right.
And clays, and is no mess. Look, it's not on my hands. I could play with this all day. And so tell us about this.
All right, this is Mad Mattr, and Mad Mattr is made from ceramics. So it's still a silicone-based material, which ceramics are glass. But these are hollow ceramic beads that are very small. So, so when you smooth it in your hand, it feels very soft because they're round particles.
And it's very light too. It's very light.
That's the hollow part of it. Yeah.
And what I've noticed is it doesn't dry out.
It's there's no oil or water in it as well. So no water, so nothing to dry out, and no oil, so it won't stain your clothing. Right. And it's color fast as well, so the pigment will stay right in there.
It's not going to be under my fingernails after we play with it, and then you can do things like make a brick with it.
Yes. So we've developed this compound was designed for putting things together, but also there's part of play is smashing and starting all over.
Sure.
Right.
So I'm going to show you how we do this. We have
Can I smash this and start over?
Of course.
Wow, most people would. This was a Lego block 2 seconds ago.
Would you like me to show you, or would you like to do it yourself?
Well, let's do it together.
Okay. Here, take some.
And I like that you've built different things. I mean, this is a real structure. You could build that as a kid and really do something nice with it. You gotta. I don't know if I could build that.
I like the color mix right here.
You can do that.
The combo.
Yeah, so you can
Almost
see
looks like tie-dye.
several of our colors here. We have 6 different colors at the moment. We'll be introducing some more in the near term. We'll need a little bit more material in order to get the right volume.
All right.
So we have a little process, and bricks, I don't know if you know, have been made for millennia. Right?
Yeah,
Right.
I would say that's true.
And somehow we've come up with a new way of making a brick, and therefore that's our IP.
Yeah.
So we put the material down, and then we use this tool, which is made like a table, and we're going to compress that down to the right volume of material. And then we're going to use a little cutting tool to cut into it.
Wow.
And it gives us the right shape. And then I have the material in here. I want to do something on the bottom, so I just put it back on that table, give it a little press. Now hold your hand out. I'll hold one of those.
Wow.
There's your brick.
There's my little brick.
Now the material wants to stay together. Once it's compressed, it really wants to bind, so we can build tall with it. So here we have a pyramid. We've actually gone much higher with structures straight up as well.
How high can you go?
Well, I have a stop motion animation of that, but I've gone over a foot tall, just straight up.
All right, let's see this. Let's see if I can do this. D, you're going to try next.
Well,
Here,
I'm
if you
looking
put it
at
on the
this
ground,
over
it'll
here.
be a little bit more handy.
I'm going to make a bunch of bricks, actually.
Table, huh?
Yeah, we'll get you some more material.
So
I kind of didn't follow that. Hold on, I'm going to do this again.
I
don't follow instructions well, I guess.
Materials or
No,
what?
well, you could mix them together if you want.
If you mix them together,
if you're a rebel.
that's it though. If you mix them together,
it's
they're
over,
mixed, right?
Let's see if that's enough. Looks like enough, right?
Yeah, you want to compress it a little bit more. Go the other way with the thing.
Okay.
I'm so particular about my bricks, and so I ask you for my apologies.
You've made quite a few bricks, so.
I have a little story. Our facility, we're located in Colorado. And
We're in Colorado.
Right.
In our warehouse is in Loveland, Colorado.
Okay.
Which in the late 60s and 70s, a company there called Samsonite had the rights to develop a toy called Lego.
Wow.
And they made Lego bricks at this facility where our current warehouse is.
So now when I cut it out
That's
here?
amazing.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Okay, how am I doing with this one? I'm doing okay.
You did great.
Not amazing,
That's awesome.
but pretty good.
Yeah, it's not important. There's no wrong way to do it.
Very
right?
cool.
Okay.
I like this a lot.
That's the other thing our company focuses on is expression and open-ended.
Now do I just go here?
Yeah, give it a little press to make sure things are in there. Yeah,
Right.
give it a big press.
He's a big guy.
There you go. You could do a little bit better than that.
Okay, all right.
Now, how close is your factory to Denver?
It's about 45 minutes.
Ah.
That's our...
Have you ever seen the Broncos play football?
I have.
Yeah. This guy played for the Broncos.
You did?
Yeah.
Way back when, before they... So you know what? I'm going to put it in there.
That
so I can
explains
press it on
the
both
size
sides.
difference between us. I was a cyclist, so I'm all lower body.
Well, genetically, you know, look at that. How about
Nicely
that? 6
Wow.
bricks.
done.
That is pretty cool.
And you can shoot them out with the top part.
Look at this. I got a
If you put it like
nice
this,
thick brick right there.
Right.
And then you just pull those two together and just...
This is very cool. So
I'm shooting out bricks.
how this will be in stores soon, or it's in stores now?
Yeah, we are
Mad
shipping
Mattr.
Mad Mattr now. It's
Yep.
available at retail now and many locations, and then we have these new tools that are coming out within weeks.
Wow. I think the tools make a big difference. You know, my son Jack would love these tools and to play with this, and I would like it because I don't have Play-Doh all over my hands. You know?
Yeah, it's clean, and it. Here, I'm gonna.
You can do it over and over again.
I'm gonna
If you mix
demonstrate
it,
some of
it's
that,
mixed
just
though, right?
picking
if
it
you
right
mix
up.
the colors, it's mixed.
Exactly, and so that's
to
what
mix
we've
them,
done
it's over.
here.
Right.
So, whoops, I just killed my house. But that's part of the fun too.
There you go. Look
Right,
at this.
but that's part
More
of it,
bricks.
you know?
Here, I'm gonna take
I like
Breaking
these
it down
tools.
and rebuilding.
I'm gonna
And this is safe. What's the age range for kids?
3+.
I'm making some.
Yeah.
I'm making some like.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm making, but yeah, I like that you said brilliant. Thank you. So 3+, and it's safe, and the toys are safe. Like these things are safe. Now, what if my kid eats this?
It's inert. It
Yeah.
won't react to anything in your system, and also it's non-toxic.
Good.
Of course.
Hopefully they don't eat it anyway.
Right.
Non-toxic. That is good. I like it. And again, it's got the kind of the properties of.
I'm gonna add one more
connection.
thing to that. In
Yes.
that, some other doughs are made
Yeah.
with a wheat.
Yeah.
And so
Oh,
children with
sure.
celiac disease,
Gluten allergies. Yeah.
And this is completely.
So this is good for schools.
And it never dries.
Right.
So
Wow.
they can leave it out and play with it.
Very
over
cool.
and
You've done a
over.
great job. And Kinetic Sand's still on the market, and you've done a great job with this, and you've got a whole lot of other stuff. Relevant Play, 14 years, almost half of the time here at Javits that Toy Fair has spent, you've been here. Almost
Awesome.
half.
I'm working on
that's
it.
amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you so
That's pretty
much.
cool. We celebrate everybody who's got multiple years, and then people who are here for the first time. We've had some on. So thank you for coming on.
I really appreciate it.
I think
Thank you.
that the audience will not be able to appreciate how light this is until they get it in their hands. I mean, it's
you could
it's
definitely.
almost like cotton candy light.
It really is, and you can travel
but it
with
doesn't
it.
look like that.
Almost like styrofoam.
Almost like styrofoam. Yeah.
It's what was I going to say? You could travel with it. It's great for kids. I like it. Thank you.
I like it.
This is cool.
Thank you again.
And best
Great
of luck
meeting
with
you.
it. I think you're going to do great.
Congratulations.
What's the website if parents want to find out more?
RelevantPlay.com.
RelevantPlay.com. He's David. He's Daryl. I'm Michael. We'll be back with a whole lot more right after this.